Awesome. Okay, we are live now, guys. Welcome, everybody. If anybody's watching on YouTube, go to our group page, find the join link, and as many people as we can get on live, let's get on live. So hop on. Okay, hi, Irene. Irene, you're really dark. You're a big shadow. Okay. Well, oh, hi, Sherry.
Hello, sorry.
It's okay. All right. I know we're going to have some people popping on whenever they get a chance throughout this, but I just want to welcome Bill to the call and just kind of explain to you what's going on here. I am doing a mentorship with Bill right now. This is totally separate of Unlimited Profits and Modere. I'm doing a special mentorship with him in another group, and we get the ability to have one-on-one calls, and Bill was very generous and offered to do my one-on-one call with all of you. So here we are, and so we're going to have Bill come on and take over and do a little mentorship for all of us. Thanks for coming, Bill.
Thanks, Mary Ellen. Hi, everybody. I'm sure you guys can hear me okay. Some of you guys are already part of my personal mentorship team, or you've been to some of our live events lately, so it's always good to see your faces. Good to see you guys. I actually want to give you some some training that is, I think we're clicked on Aaron's face, so it's not bouncing. You know how to unclick it so it goes to the right presenter, Mary Ellen? Because it's not bouncing off of Aaron for me, it's just... That's fine. I'll just click on me. So here's what I want to talk to you guys about. I'm actually made an offer to Mary Ellen to help you guys build your team, because we want to see Mary Ellen get to $1 million a year, which means we got to get to some of you guys $100,000 a year, and then $200,000 a year. We got to actually help her team members get to their goals so that she can reach her goals. And so this is what I want to help you guys do. I want you to help me figure out which one of these 3 people you are. There's actually 4 people, but hopefully that 4th category doesn't exist in this group. So we'll eliminate 4th person. I'm never going to do anything. I'm just going to sit around and listen to training for the rest of my life. I'm never going to ask the $1 million question. I'm never going to be a marketer. I'm just going to sit around and hope that my dreams are fulfilled by me just sitting here listening. Now that person, we're pretty sure doesn't exist on this call. You guys are all doers and go-getters, so that person is not part of this group. We actually have 3 other people, and I want to help you figure out which one you are. So I know how to get to $1 million. I know how to help other people get to $1 million. I know how to very easily get you guys to your $50,000, $60,000 a year mark within a very short amount of time. And there's different arenas for you to do it. I've been training in. We'll start with the hardest one and move our way backwards toward the easy one. And so this will help you guys figure out where your personality fits. We have the $1 million entrepreneur. This guy has an idea, or he has a plan, or he has a widget that he's building in his garage and he wants to make $1 million bucks. This one is the hardest one to do, because in that world of entrepreneurship, you have to be a marketer, you have to be a salesperson, you have to be an employer, you have to be a babysitter for all your employees, you have to be a tax person, you have to be able to figure out your own bookkeeping, you have to be able to manage and clean out the toilets, so you have to be a janitor. Unless you have millions of dollars to actually start the business, you have to wear a lot of hats to be an entrepreneur. Now you can do that, and for that personality type, it's pretty rewarding. You're working your butt off. You're working 16 hours a day for $2 an hour for a little while, and it's a tough road. But there is a personality that wants to do that. They want to brand themselves. They want to build their own business. If you're that personality type, I can actually help you. I know how to do that. I've started over 50 companies. I've sold some from baby roots. You know, I started the thing up to a $10 million company. So I know every single process on how to get you to be an entrepreneur, to move into a business and help you become successful. That requires a different mindset, and most people are not going to do it. Most of those people fail. 9 out of 10 entrepreneur businesses fail. It's a really hard road. But some people, that's what you want to do. You have a widget, you have a dream, you want to do that. I can help you get there. This call is not for that person. Just realize that if that's you and that's where you're headed, that you have to think a little bit different, and it's a different call. The other person is the $1 million marketer. Now, hopefully, you guys are going to catch this. The $1 million marketer doesn't have to work as hard. He has to do 3 things. He has to brand himself and his company. He has to become very good at being an expert in his field, and he has to spend his days and nights promoting whatever it is, himself and his products, and he has to get really good. And there's some good examples out there. You can go to BillEbert.com blog, and you can see how I'm using that marketing plan. You can go see Gary Vaynerchuk. He wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, and he's learned how to make millions of dollars. He speaks on stage for like $10,000 an hour. He's become a brand on himself. You see Ray Higdon doing it. Ray Higdon makes $4.5 million a year. And that skill set, it doesn't require as much. It's actually easier and requires less skills, which is kind of cool. You know, in this one, you have to be a salesperson. You have to be a trainer. You have to be really good. You have to be the expert. You have to be a trainer. You have to be a marketer, which means you have to spend a lot of time on social media. You have to be posting ads. You have to be developing your own content. You have to be taking content from other people. You have to be learning. It's a full-time job. It's 12, 15 hours a day. It takes you 6 to 8 months to actually start making any decent money. You know, you can actually, in 6 months, you could be making some really good money. 8 months, you can be full-time. But there's no real residual. You never quit. The moment you quit, the business stops. It's done and over with. But it's a tremendous amount of money. But you have to learn the skill set. So that person, the person who wants to be the marketer, thinks that it's easier than being a network marketer because they actually want to turn a key. They want to actually build a system, build a funnel, build a blog. You know, there's a lot of people that we teach them the easier way, and they choose this way, the harder way, because of one main reason. And here's the other one. You want to be $1 million a year network marketer, you only have to learn one skill. And the problem with the reason that this is actually the easiest of them, it's the easiest for you to make money. Within 21 days, I've seen my daughter at 17 years old make a full-time income in 45 days while she was going to high school full-time. So I know that it's being done. I see people doing it all the time. To be a network marketer, you only have to have one skill. And that one skill is what's keeping people back from making a full-time income. Almost everybody who's struggling in their business is refusing to do just one simple thing. And if they would realize that everything we teach, everything we train, everything we say is to get you the mindset to do it and the skill set to reproduce it. And with the 180,000 people now that have gone through our system, this is the really cool thing. This is actually a negative and a positive at the same time. This is the hardest business in the world to do. And it's the easiest business in the world to do. The reason is there's only one gateway, and most people are not willing to do it. Being willing to do what unsuccessful people don't do. The successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people do. Now, the reason that's a positive is because it's so simple and there's hardly anybody willing to do it that there's an open gate for you. The whole world is your oyster. You can actually be that one person who decides to take massive action, ask the $1 million question 50 times a day, and turn it into a full-time income in no time at all. I see it. I have never seen, in the 180,000 people that we've trained, I have never seen a person take massive action and do the $1 million question for 90 days and not turn it into an income. Never. That's how easy it is. The easiest business that I've ever trained and ever taught anybody to do is network marketing. But the majority of people are not going to ask the $1 million question. So that's where you need to put yourself in a category. Am I going to do whatever it takes? Am I going to take massive action? Because that's why you're here. You want to make an income. You got some dreams you want to fulfill. You want to have the income to do the things you want to do. You want to set your family free. You want to actually have the lifestyle and the freedom. And there's only one tiny little obstacle, and that is the $1 million question. Now, are there other ways to do the business? I would say absolutely. But then you move over into the marketer and the entrepreneur. There are harder ways to do the business. There's live events, there's live meetings, but you're still having to ask a question. You're still having to do some marketing. You're still having to do something that's at least as uncomfortable and not as effective as the $1 million question. And we've taught all you guys the $1 million question. We've walked it down to a perfect science So that you have to figure out, I'm one of these three people. I'm going to be the person who's going to ask the $1,000,000 question. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to take massive action. I'm going to do it till I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to make myself an income. Or I'm not going to ask the $1,000,000 question. I want to be a marketer. Teach me the marketing thing because I don't want to talk to strangers and ask the question. We can teach you that. We're actually building a whole new platform in the back of our office that's going to be a marketing arm for all the people who don't want to ask the question. All you want to do is post links. You want to post blogs. You want to post other people's stuff. You want to just be a crazy marketer and you just want to get out there. We're going to teach, because a lot of people are not willing to do the $1,000,000 question. We're going to teach you how to do that. So you're that person. Or you're the entrepreneur. You want to go through and build everything all the time. I don't see why a person would want to do that. Like I said, I've started 50 companies. I don't see why I would ever want to do that ever again, when I can make just as much or more money doing one thing instead of having employees and having tax burdens and having a building and having to commute back and forth and being a slave to the machine. Why would anybody ever want to do that? I just don't know. So everything we do is try and encourage you. We do live events, we do training calls, we do conversations, we figure out what's the rock in your stream, why are you stuck, why are you unstuck. It all comes down to that one thing. Put down on a piece of paper in the circle in the middle and put in the words $1,000,000 question. It's the only thing that should be on a piece of paper. Big circle, $1,000,000 question. And now when looking at that, you have to tell yourself this is easy. Hannah at 17 years old learned how to do the $1,000,000 question. Billy the dysfunctional kid learned how to do the sales call 400 times a day. It is the easiest thing in the world. Put down next to it in tiny little circles all the reasons that you won't do it. Most people only have two. I mean, two in the personal mentoring, it's almost always one of two things. And it's different for each person, but it's almost always just two things. So you're saying this one thing that you have to learn to do, your obstacle is just these two little things, or this one little thing. This is the only thing that's stopping you from making $1,000 a week. That tiny little circle and that tiny little circle is the only thing stopping you from asking the question 50 times a day. Some people say, well, I don't know how. Well, I'm scared. Well, I'm not really sure. Well, I'm not. No, none of those excuses are worth anything. You're not doing it because of some other reason. You're not doing it because you're scared. Whatever it is that's keeping you from doing it, you need to figure out, am I going to let that little circle keep me from my dreams? Am I going to let that tiny little excuse keep me from asking the question 50 times a day? And you could ask the question 400 times a day. I'm giving you a goal that's reachable. People say 50 times a day. How could I ask that question 50 times a day? That's crazy. I think I'd only ask it 3 or 4. I could ask it 3 or 4 times a minute. If you're in the right place and you're in the right mindset, you could figure out a way to do 400 times a day. I bet you right now, as I'm having this conversation with you, Robert's asked the question 10 times since we started this chat. Because he's driving. He did $50,000 in sales in his new network marketing company in the last 5 weeks because he knows how to do it. It's as simple as asking the question over and over and over and over and over again. He's actually at a place in just a couple more months, he's in a place where he can quit, not do another thing, and be generating $50,000 a month in income. $500,000 a year for 90 days worth of work. And he's not doing anything that we're not teaching you. The only problem is nobody's willing to do that tiny little thing. There's this tiny little hole called success. There's only one way in. If you're willing to do what it takes, then go ahead and do it. Otherwise, what you should do is decide, I'm going to hang out with the person that's going to teach me. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to get side by side with the person who's doing it. And that's what I want to offer you guys. I'm going to offer you something special. Don't tell anybody because I don't have time to do this for the world. I only have time to do this for Mary Ellen's crowd. I want to ask the $1,000,000 question with you. If you need somebody to help prime your pump, somebody to actually get in there and show you how much fun it is, how easy it is to ask the $1,000,000 question, I want to do it with you. I'll do all the work. We'll take some of your warm leads, some of your cold leads, and we'll show you that every single one of them is going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. It's just priming the pump for you. I'm going to actually get you started. If you can't do it yourself, I want you to go to BillEbert.com and go down to the bottom and set up an appointment with me so that you and I can spend 30 minutes calling some of your leads, calling some of your friends, and showing you how much fun it is. We won't offend a single person. I guarantee you, not one person will leave mad. You are not going to make a single enemy. We're going to have fun the whole entire time. I'm going to show you how much fun it is to do the $1,000,000 question. And we'll do it 4, 5, 6 times in 30 minutes, and you'll see, man, if that's all there is to it, if that's all I got to do, I could do this. The reason that my 17-year-old daughter made it and other people don't is because I made her sit down right next to me and we did it together. And she's like, wow, that didn't hurt. And we do another one. Wow, that didn't hurt. We do another one. Now that didn't hurt. 4 hours later, she didn't get a single punch in the face. Not a single person drove over to her house, ripped her out of her bedroom, and punched her in the face. I don't know why you guys think that's going to happen to you. So if that's what it's going to take, I'm willing to help you guys get you primed. Call your people. This is what I teach people. I can call the same person every single day for 30 days and ask them the $1 million question and they won't get mad at me. That's how easy this question, that's how beautiful the question is, that's how lacking in offense the question is. If you do it right, you can call the same person every single day. Well, I don't want to offend them. I don't want to make them mad. I don't want to. Whatever the story is you're telling your head is not real. You got to see how easy it is. So that's the offer that I'm going to make to you. Don't give it to the rest of the world because I don't have time for everybody. I only have time for you guys. So go to BillEbert.com, set up an appointment in the next week or so. You don't even have to make the list yet. We'll just talk. Our first conversation will be a talk. I'll show you how simple it is. We'll pick up the phone. We'll make some phone calls. I'll call some of my friends, show you how easy it is, and then we'll call some of yours. And you're like, that's all there is to it? I'm gonna make $100,000 a year by doing that. Yes, you are. It's that easy. So some of you guys just need to see it. Some of you just need that little bit of push, that little bit of priming the pump. For some reason you're stuck and you don't know why. You know, I didn't swim. I didn't jump into the deep side of the pool most of my childhood. I was scared to dive. And then when I figured it out, I was like, man, I wasted 10 years of my life standing there on the edge being scared. It was dumb. That's what it looks like for me. Everybody's standing on the edge of having their success, having all their dreams fulfilled. They're standing on the edge. I don't want to dive. I might drown. I might get hurt. I might bump my head. And they keep telling all these stories, and everybody else is swimming. We got huge numbers of people swimming, going on stage, making $1 million, traveling, living their dreams, and all they're doing is asking a simple little question. So I want to help you guys. I want to help you do it. We're going to get Mary Ellen pushed up to her, all of her goals, and we're going to help all you guys reach yours. And then once I teach you, as simple as this is, once I show you how simple it is and how fun it is, it's your new life, asking the $1 million question. And then you can start priming the pump of your people and getting them motivated. Once you see that I don't care who you are, I don't care what your education level is, I don't care what your personality is, I don't care if you're as ugly as me, you're going to be able to have success in the $1 million question. It has absolutely nothing to do with your personality type, how attractive you are, how intelligent you are. It's going to work for you. And that's the thing I want to make for you. So if you're absolutely sure that you're never ever going to step up and do the work, then realize that and stop frustrating yourself. Go back to the job, go be coin operated, go be a really good employee somewhere, and don't make yourself miserable. If you realize that you're just never going to do it, you got to come to the conclusion someday. You're going to stand on the edge of the pool. Winter's coming. Swimming's almost over. Don't waste your time sitting there being frustrated. Go play in the baby pool. And it's not that it's not right for everybody. It's just not every single person in the world is going to do it. So don't frustrate your leadership. Don't frustrate yourself. Don't frustrate your family by trying to do something and not being willing to pull the trigger. You got to pull the trigger. And that's what I want to help you do. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to help you. But then at the same time, if you're not really going to do it and you know you're never going to do it, you should probably quit. But then look at your dreams. Before you quit, look at your dreams. Look at that tiny little circle and say, am I going to let that tiny little circle keep me from my dreams? Am I going to let that tiny little circle keep me from everything that I've ever wanted in life? To have the lifestyle and the freedom and the finances and all the things that I've ever dreamed of. Am I going to let that stuff quit? And the answer should be no. Almost nobody, once they realize that it's just that one little excuse that's keeping them from doing it. And now you got no excuse at all because Bill's going to do it for you. I'm going to help you. We're going to get you up to the top of the hill, put some skis on you, and shove. And you'll just keep falling down the hill, fall down the hill, fall down the hill until it's fun. And you won't die. I've never killed a single person. Not 180,000 of them got dead. So that's my training for today. It's more of an offer than a training. I want to help you guys get to your goals. We're going to be doing, I don't know if you guys got announced, for those of you who are pros on our other program, we're going to be announcing our next 3 events. We're going to be doing Billings, Montana is our next one, and then I'm going back to Charlotte. I'm probably going to do a Charlotte event by myself. I don't think Robert's coming down for it because he's busy. So I'm going to do a tiny mini event in Charlotte. Then we're going to Norway, back to Billings, then to Brazil. Busy guys. One of the things I want to do this week, in addition to helping you guys, I have some local friends who we're actually going to go to the store. We're going to go to the mall. We're going to go to the restaurants. We're going to talk to people and put a little pocket recorder in my pocket with a video camera on there. And I'm going to do some live calls, live presentations with complete strangers, and see how much fun it is to watch Bill do the $1 million question, because I do it everywhere I go. And so you're actually going to see a presentation. You're going to see their reaction. You're going to see that they all smile. You're going to see that not a single one of them pulls a knife on me. Yeah, I meet complete strangers all day long, every place I go. They love every minute of it, and it's not because of my dynamic personality. I'm not that guy. It's because the question works for everybody. It probably worked for every single one of you better than it works for me, and it works for me. So we're going to be doing that with the video recorder. I wish I could go to every one of your hometowns and just show you how to do it. You know, sit in your house and make phone calls with you, but this is the closest we can get for right now. So go ahead and make an appointment with me. We'll spend at least 30 minutes, and once you get it and you start seeing some momentum, you're going to want to start taking your people right away and doing the same thing for them. Call their people with them. You will never ever run out of leads in your whole entire life. You don't have to ever buy a lead program. You don't ever have to look for new ways to contact people. You don't have to join LinkedIn. You don't have to do anything. $1 million question is the key to the simplicity of this business. So you guys got any questions?
That is awesome, Bill. Thank you so much. Yes, if anybody has a question, please, hop on and ask. Seriously, nobody's got a question for Bill?
I have a question. I have a question.
Hi, Irene.
Hi. I had gotten on a roll with asking the question, and then the last 2 weeks, the only place I've been is to one hospital or another and back. It's not a population where I could ask the question, because these are people that are doing critical care on a loved person in my family. So I'm looking now to create the time and the space to not always be in one of those places, to be anywhere else from what you're saying, where I can ask some people. The other thing is, I asked a bunch of people where I go get my treatments, and I got a lot of people who gave me their emails, but I've had nobody follow up. So, tips on that.
Well, if you're getting the email, then you're doing a great job. That's really all you can do. You can't make them follow through. You can't make them go. You just have to. It's more about numbers than anything. You're just going to have a large number of people that don't follow through. It's just the nature of it. That's why you got to do it. You got to take massive action and ask a lot of questions.
Bill, is it better to enter? Let's say with UP, is it better to enter them into the system, or just send them the link to let them enter themselves?
I never let anybody enter themselves.
Okay, so I've been entering them. Is what I've been doing.
That's what I do.
And then they get the email from admin at Unlimited Profits, and in the email do they get then their login and password, or is that just given? Because I notice that pops up once I enter them.
Yeah, they get it all automatically in the email. And so if you are entering them in, what I do is I enter them in while they're standing right there, like on the phone.
Well, I now have the app on my phone, so I can do that.
Right, and so I'll enter them in and tell them that I entered them in and say, check your email. Did you get an email from admin? Because if it goes in their spam folder, then they're not going to follow up. And I just make sure they get it and say, just watch a couple videos and let me know if you know somebody who this would be perfect for. I still continue to use the $1 million question. Don't ever try to sell them. To say, this might not be right for you. Once you see a few videos, you might know somebody who this is perfect for. So let me know.
Okay. Do they need to be on Facebook to do this?
No.
No. Good. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to make an appointment with you.
Okay. Yeah, see, I got 2 appointments already. You guys are action takers.
Awesome. Anybody else have a question? Really? Okay.
No,
I guess we're all just going to wait till they have you one-on-one, Bill, to ask their questions.
That's fine, because it's really simple. I mean, there really shouldn't be any questions. It's going to be super easy to do. So I expect all you guys. Some of you guys are already part of my mentorship team, so just make your regular weekly appointment with me anyway. We'll go ahead and talk. You also might want to think about who your top 2 or 3 people are and include them in the call. Because I'll do it for you, but if I'm doing it for you with them, we can actually take care of a couple things at the same time. We can help get them motivated as they watch it happen, and we can train you at the same time. So I don't mind doing a group chat with you guys and your top people. If you have a couple people you know need that kind of prime in the pump kind of training.
That's awesome. Now, just because I really focus most on Modere, and I have some people who are just UP, and I know others in here have people in UP that are in other companies. So does it really matter what company?
No, it really doesn't. It's the same story. It's the same question. It's the same. I point them to 2 videos. Hey, would you like to work with this team of guys who's made millions of dollars in the business? They say yes. And then we strap them in. Like, okay, you need $99 a month for your training because you're not going to do anything professionally without training. And you need to join this program because this is the one that I'm working. Done. It doesn't matter what company it is. Even if it's just UP, if that's your only business, then you can say, hey, I'm working with these guys. They've made millions of dollars in the business. If we can show you how to work with these guys and make a full-time income, would you be interested? They say, well, yeah. Once they see those videos, like, yeah, I'd work with those guys. Say, okay, here you go. I even sign them up. I'll even take their credit card over the phone, log into their back office because I already have all their login information because I'm the one that joined them in the first place. Join and sign them up. Don't let there be a hole between the conversation, the yes, and the sign up. You don't have to do that because Hannah made her money and she never signed up a single person. She never helped anybody walk through the credit card process. But I don't like to let a warm fish go. If he's saying yes, I don't need some TV show to distract him from pulling the trigger. So I help him. I walk him all the way through. But Robert doesn't. Robert never helps anybody. He points him to the link and goes to the next one. He's so busy filling the funnel that he doesn't take time to even follow up.
Yeah, I find that absolutely amazing when he said that he never even. If they're like, well, what if they don't do anything? Well, next.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah, he's just looking for big fish anyway. People who are ready to take action, and his way works better than people who follow up. Because, he's eventually finding, he got one person on one of his periscopes, and he called her up. She said, hey, I love your stuff. He calls her up and says, who do you know that makes extra money? She says, me. He signs her up in UP and Modere. She's already got 12 people in less than 5 days. She's already signed up 12, and she says, I'll guarantee you by the end of next week, all 12 of those will have 12. He's just looking for the big fish. And you can't do that when you're babysitting people. When you're following up and you're holding hands and you're answering, questions with people who are never going to take action, you just don't have time to catch big fish.
Do you sign them up when you sign them up in Modere and UP? Do you sign them up as customers or do you sign them up as shifting retail?
Shifting retail, full meal deal. Everybody starts off at the highest price, and then I work my way down. $3.99 for Modere, $99 for unlimited profits. Less than $500 you're in, you got a full-time job. You got a full-time business. And I always start high, even if your program's more expensive than that. Always start high and work your way down. They say, well, I really don't. I can hardly make my mortgage payment. Okay, let's start at the half price. $200 for Modere, $99 for unlimited profits. Oh, I can't do that either. I said, okay, $29 for Modere, $99 for unlimited profits. Well, I can't do that either. I said, okay, $99 for unlimited profits. Forget Modere. If they're still whining and complaining, click. I don't have time. If you're going to build your business, you don't have time. Say, go ahead and join for free. When you get some money, figure it out. You just don't.
Can you explain to everybody why, if they're in another company and they're trying to get people in, like Modere, why they should be promoting UP at the same time, not just worrying about whether they get them in their product company and not in their training.
Well, not only is it a second source of income for you, which is a motivation in itself. You can make a full-time income just with your UP business. but it's the training that almost every single person, these 97% of people have never been trained, never been taught the $1 million question. They don't have a community. They don't have training tools. The ability to make extra money and give them the tools that they need to build their business. If they don't have training, then they're not going to succeed. It's just automatic. They are not going to be successful. You're actually setting them up for failure. If they do have the training, what about their people? Well, they're missing out on the possibility of making extra money and training their people. The majority of their people are going to need the training. So it's a second vehicle that, you could probably mow your lawn with your car, buy an attachment, but why would you do that? Why would you just have one vehicle? It's just smart thing to have a training vehicle with all the tools and all the other stuff. It keeps people around longer. The average fall off is 50% in 60 days. People will fall off of your network marketing company without training. They'll stick around for 10 months with training. There's only a 10% fall off with unlimited profits. They're actually going to stick around longer. They're going to get a chance to learn more. They can actually decide to leave your network marketing company and stay with your training program. There's just no reason not to do it. It's 99 bucks. And if a person takes even a little bit of action, it's free. They get 2 people. It's a free program.
Right, exactly. No, I can attest to, I've tried in the past, and I was with another product company before, and I've had a few in the past, which I never really, it's not that I got involved to grow the business. I got involved because I love the products. But there was never any training like Unlimited Profits. They all had their own company training, but until I got involved with Unlimited Profits and actually got really trained and actually did the mentorship, it made all the difference in the world. It really did. So you're right. You can't just jump into a company without that network marketing mindset training and think you're going to succeed.
Yeah, it's just like people who go to GoPro or they go to any other live event. There's no conflict in their mind when they go to training, they download a video, they buy a book on network marketing. There's no conflict. For some reason, our industry has been so competitive that they don't want to share resources. They don't want to have someone outside the company. There's actually 2 companies that have made it public that they don't want people joining another company. They didn't say us specifically, but there's 4 companies like us that are doing what we do. And they say that they don't want them joining those companies because they feel it's competition. When it really isn't. We're not in competition at all. If we were selling the exact same product with the exact same comp plan and it wasn't real quality training, I could see how it would be competition. Or if they had their own internal compensation plan with a training program, then it might be competition. And I don't mind competition. If you actually have a company that does everything that we do, then take advantage of the training and go do that. You don't have to sell UP. But most people don't.
Well, I didn't actually meet. We were both at GoPro. Andrew Eaton, who's also in Unlimited Profits, who's in South Africa, who uses Unlimited Profits to train everyone in his product company. We were chatting through the entire event, trying to find a time to get together. He was so busy because he doesn't get here that often, doing meetings with people in his team that were at GoPro, that we actually never even got to do I wanted him in the group picture that we did for UP. But he makes everyone that he gets involved with his product company join Unlimited Profits. And if they're not willing to work on themselves and train themselves for success, he doesn't want to work with them. And he is very successful. And he's in a country that's not so easy to be successful in. So he's proof that it works.
It's absolutely crucial nowadays to have training, and that's why I say, if they only do one thing, they should do UP. If they're only doing a single item, they shouldn't do just network marketing. They should do the training and do the business when they're trained.
Right. Okay. Anyone else come up with any questions while we've been talking? Nope. Okay. Well, Bill, I'm not going to tie up your time because it's very valuable, and I am so thrilled that you were willing to take time for everyone today, and all the time that you're going to take with them from this point on. So I'm very excited. I'm thrilled for everybody because I know once you do the $1 million question with them and their friends that they're going to see a totally different aspect of this, and it's going to seem a lot easier for them.
Yeah, $1 million question from a guy who knows it and loves it's like going to a party. It's just fun. So
I love that.
I'm doing a 9 o'clock training call tonight, so also I want to invite you guys to be that. That's normally part of our mentorship team call. But you can get the link from Mary Ellen because Sherry has already seen the link, and I think Mary Ellen, I've already emailed it to you. So invite your team to that. I'll let them in on that training too. That's
Awesome. Thank you.
If you guys want to be there at 9 o'clock, you guys can come.
Terrific.
Appreciate it so much.
See you, everybody.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, we're going off air.